Hi everyone, so for the last video in my Christmas recipe series, I'm bringing you some alternative festive desserts, and I've mainly done these recipes to serve 2 to 4 people, but if you're wanting to make more or less, you could just double or half these quantities. The first dessert I have is a deconstructed Black Forest Gateau. So for this, in a food processor, add 20 dates, 3 tablespoons of raw cacao powder, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1 tablespoon of almond butter and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and blend that together until it sticks and almost forms like a cake crumb. Then divide that in half and split one of the halves between each glass. Next, take 1 cup of defrosted sour cherries, you could also use canned for this, and divide that between the 2 glasses. Then top each glass with 3 tablespoons of coconut cream. For this, I just place a can of coconut milk in the fridge overnight. The cream will gather on the top and then you can just scoop that out. And then repeat that process, so divide the rest of the crumb between the 2 glasses, another cup of the cherries divided between the 2 glasses, some more coconut cream on top, and then finally finish with a good grating of dark chocolate. And if, like me, any chocolate falls on the clean work surface, you can just scoop that up and use it so it doesn't go to waste. Black Forest Gateau used to be one of my favourite desserts, and this is a really quick and easy way to make a vegan version of it with all the flavours just in one glass. And all of the textures are so incredible too. The soft kind of cake crumb is really rich in flavour because of the raw cacao. The cherries give it a slight sourness but also gives it some juiciness. The coconut cream brings everything together and adds some sweetness, and then the dark chocolate grated on top just finishes it off nicely like it would on a traditional Black Forest Gateau. Next up, I have these mini chocolate hazelnut cheesecakes. For the cheesecake base, first blend up half a cup of oats and half a cup of dates in a food processor until it begins to stick together. Then for some glass ramekins, cut 2 strips of parchment paper for each and place them in each ramekin as a cross, and this is going to help lift out the cheesecakes once they're done. Once you've done that, divide the biscuit base between each ramekin and press it down with your fingers until you have a firm base. Place those in the freezer whilst you then make the filling, and for this, first place the oven on 180 degrees Celsius. Take 1 cup of raw hazelnuts and spread those out on a lined baking tray, then place them in the oven to roast only for 10 minutes. Once they're done, remove and leave them to cool down. Then place them in a food processor and blend them up for around 5 minutes until it almost forms a nut butter. Next, add in 2 tablespoons of raw cacao powder and 3 tablespoons of maple syrup and blend that up again. Then pour in half a cup of water. Add in half an avocado and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and blend it again until it is all mixed together. Divide that mix between the 4 ramekins and then place those in the freezer again to set for a minimum of 2 hours. Once they're set, remove them and use the tabs just to lift the cheesecakes out of the ramekins and then place them onto plates. I just dusted some raw cacao powder through a sieve over mine and then finished them with a chunk of dark chocolate pushed into the top. These have the most amazing cheesecake texture, and this simple base works every time. It tastes amazing. Avocado also works so well for giving the cheesecake a creaminess. It might seem a little bit weird to use it, but I always just remind myself that avocado is a fruit, and then it doesn't seem as weird to use this in a cheesecake. And you honestly can't taste it at all. The chocolate and the hazelnut flavour completely masks it, and if you're a fan of chocolate hazelnut spreads, you'll love this. The combination is really delicious. Next up, I have these ginger and oat cookies. For this, start by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then in a large mixing bowl, add 1 cup of oats, half a cup of oat flour, 3 tablespoons of molasses, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, a grating of nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. And mix that all really well until it begins to stick together. Divide the mix into 8 and form cookies out of them by pressing the mix between the palms of your hands. Lay those out on a lined baking tray and then place them in the oven to bake for around 20 to 25 minutes. When they're done, just remove them from the oven and leave them to cool before eating them. Like any previous oat cookies I've made, these are a little bit crunchy on the outside, but they stay nice and soft in the middle. And with the sweetness from the molasses and the coconut sugar and the flavours from all of the spices, they just taste like Christmas. And any remaining cookies can be placed in an airtight container, stored in a cool dry place, but should really be eaten within 3 days. The second to last dessert recipe is a chocolate orange chia mousse. First add 3 tablespoons of raw cacao powder, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, the zest of 1 orange and the juice of half of that orange into a bowl. You should really mix it here, it will make it a lot easier. I forgot to do that. And then you can add in half a cup of chia seeds and 1 cup of almond milk. Again, mix it together until it's smooth and divide that between 4 small glasses, or you could serve this for 2 in 2 bigger glasses. Set those in the fridge overnight or for at least 8 hours, and then before you're ready to serve them, remove them from the fridge and top them with a spoonful of coconut cream, some more orange zest, and then grate some dark chocolate on top. This is essentially a chia pudding, but I always find that it's a very similar texture to a chocolate mousse. You know I love all things chocolate orange flavoured, especially around Christmas time, and the fresh orange juice and the zest really does give it the most amazing flavour. It's not too heavy though. If you're looking for a light and airy dessert after a big Christmas dinner, then this is perfect. And the final dessert is some Christmas pudding nice cream. For this, first add 3 tablespoons of currants into a mixing bowl with 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, 2 tablespoons of molasses, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, and a grating of nutmeg. Stir that together well, then over in a food processor, blend 1½ frozen chopped bananas and 3 tablespoons of coconut cream together until it's almost smooth. Next, add in the Christmas pudding mixture and just pulse it so it gets stirred through. Serve that between 2 glasses, and I just topped mine with some chopped walnuts, but you could use anything you like. I ran out of time to put a Christmas pudding recipe together for you guys, so if you're looking for something with all the Christmas pudding flavours but something a little bit different, then this works great. I always get asked if banana nice cream tastes like bananas, but this one with the coconut cream, it definitely masks the taste of banana, makes it even creamier, and then the mix of dried fruits and spices obviously give off all the flavours of a Christmas pudding, but again, it's a much lighter dessert. I really hope you enjoyed this video and series. As always, the recipes are written up in the description box below for you. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you again soon for some new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!